With assumption 3, we're going to start getting a little more complicated. Assumption 3 is the assumption that we have independent errors. Another way to say this is that each observation of the response variable y must be independent from the others. So if I'm measuring students, each student must be independent of the other students. There are 3 important tests for this assumption. The first is your own intuition. This may be the first time that we start to see how important our intuition can be in making important business decisions. The second test is going to be a residual plot. We'll talk about that in detail. The third is an ACF plot. We'll also discuss that in great detail. So first, let's review how to check your intuition. Think about a data set of student transcripts. So now we're measuring student performance. Could students' GPAs be related to each other? So we have to think, what does our intuition say about a student's GPA? Think about you and your teammates, your classmates, the other students in your major. Are your GPAs in any way related? Well, you might use the example that some students study together. So if they took every class together and they always studied together and they always had the same understanding of what an instructor was saying, then maybe their GPAs would be related. Or would 2 sisters' GPAs be related? Maybe. But there are lots of reasons in those 2 examples where GPAs wouldn't be related. What if you had several classes that were not the same? Or what if 2 sisters had totally different interests and different majors? Then their GPAs wouldn't be related at all. Think about the data set of package deliveries at FedEx. So every day we're measuring how many packages are delivered, how many drivers we have working, what the weather conditions are. So the question then would be, are daily packages delivered related to each other? So is yesterday's deliveries related in any way to today's deliveries? And what about today being related to tomorrow? Is this Monday related to next Monday? So we really have to use our intuition to understand, why would these observations be related, if at all? And if we can't think of a reasonable way that those things are related, then we can say our intuition supports independence. Another example from that FedEx packages data set is maybe we're measuring the damaged packages on a daily basis. So are my damages yesterday related to my damages today? Well, when I think about damages, those are really related to drivers and packages themselves. So from day to day, the packages probably aren't related in any way. But if the drivers are having trouble handling the packages for some reason, maybe they're too large, or maybe the drivers need another training, then the damages every day could be related. When I think about the data set of trading volumes, daily trading volumes, could they be related? Well, yes. So if there is a change in oil prices, or if there's something going on in China or Brazil, or if there's a change in the president, we might see that there's a lot of activity on consecutive days, and those volumes are related to something in particular. So every trading day is not independent of the last because it takes previous days into account. Daily volatilities could also be related for the same reasons. So intuition was our first test. Our second test will be to create a residual plot and check to see if there are any patterns in the residuals. Patterns indicate relationships. The third will be to check an ACF plot, which is also called the autocorrelation function. It is a statistical test of whether the observations are related to one another. So that's going to be a different view. We've used our intuition, we'll use a plot, then we'll use a statistical test, and we'll get a full view of what's going on. We're going to discuss these 2 tests in upcoming videos in detail.